more? Okay, cool. Mostly newcomers. Well, I have a great lineup for you. The comics that are on this show are the most smart, the cleverest and the smartest comics in the city, the most hardworking, and they're here to debase themselves for you. So I'm super excited to have you. A couple rules before we get started. Turn your cell phones off and keep your voices in your mouths. Just don't even put them in the air. Unless you have to like yawn or burp or any of those things. I was really pleased to see that we have a shitstorm outside for you for this show. Very happy about that. Let's also give a big shout out to High Life, who was great enough to bring all these beers for us. I definitely encourage you to refresh your drink. Just do so quietly. So my name's Addy Najera. I will be your host for tonight. Let's just get this thing started with my first sexual experience. Sounds good? Good? Everybody into that? Thank you. I've created a culture of silence. So this is my first sexual experience was I did a big fart and my hymen broke. And then I was a woman. That's pretty much how that got started. Pretty cool. There's a rumor going around that I'm a cat lady because I have 2 cats, which I don't think is anywhere near enough for a cat lady. No one's like, that's a cat hoarder. No, that's like the beginning. And like the ultimate phrase for a cat lady, of course, is, why not get another one? But I just want you guys to know that I'm not a cat lady. I can explain it to you very easily. I have a cat who has a suckling problem. If he ever encounters bare skin of any kind, he will suck on it, like a baby to a teat. When he was a kitten, I would get like these tiny little hickeys all over my neck, as if I was like necking in a car with a small elf. Now, because I have this cat, I have every opportunity in the world to allow this cat to literally suckle on my human nipple and pretend like it's my actual human baby that came out of my human vagina. And I don't do that. I just want you guys to know that I don't do that, but I could. So, if it was my dog, it would be a very different story. He came out of my womb one time, and then in the bywater frame. So I work at a veterinary hospital, which is probably another reason people think I'm a cat lady. Although I talk about cats all the time. Anyway, people don't think that dogs are funny, but they're like legitimately funny, you guys. Like, I mean like set up punchline funny, not just like he put his paw in a funny place. Like seriously funny. There's this one dog in the kennel named George. He is such a prankster. He's always getting me. The other day, he pulled the funniest prank of all time. He ejaculated on my coworker. He's so good. And like you might think, oh, it was just an accident. He couldn't control it. But like it was on her birthday. Which is like the definition of comedic timing. Like he is on it. Like that's the best gag gift of all time, right? Is dog semen? Like, I don't think you're getting this. If I came to a party with dog semen, everyone would be like, that's the best person who's at this party. Dog semen. Do you guys remember Blood Sisters? Anybody? You guys remember Blood Sisters? You guys remember cutting yourself with your girlfriends? No. That, maybe this is a girl thing, maybe this is like when you're a lonely girl child. Ugh, girl child. New name for the show is Girl Child. It's disgusting. So, when I was a young, lonely girl child, I like really wanted a sister, but I was like, I don't want just the fake one. I want the real thing. So I'm going to put my blood in her blood, she's going to put her blood in my blood, and presto, we're biological sisters. Clearly if that was now, I would never mix my blood with somebody else's blood unless I had some sort of arrangement in place. But at the time I was like, no, it'll be super fun. It'll be like that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie where they were identical strangers, except very different. But the thing is, my friends and I, we were too afraid to actually cut ourselves, like, and be like super awesome and be like, ah, down our palms and then like rub them together. We didn't want to do that. So we just like scoured our bodies for pre-existing scabs. I feel like it's pretty innovative. And we're just like, oh, I hope they're fresh so they'll bleed. You guys like that? And I feel like now as an adult, this is like very telling about who I am as a person. Because like I'm a obsessive scab picker. But like maybe that's just my way of like opening up to people, you know, being like, come on, mix your blood with my blood, metaphorically. Sweet. I bought some like embarrassing products at Walgreens the other day. Good place to buy Shane buys. And like I almost made it out without any interaction. But as I was walking out, I ran into one of my coworkers. It was Janet with the big boobs. Like, how does she fit those things in her shirt? Because not in like a sexy way, in like they're gonna explode. I ran into her and I was like, oh hey, and she was like, hey, and then we like both looked into my basket, and then like she looked at me, and then I looked at her, and then we both looked into my basket, because I bought like 7 frozen burritos and like a Sam's Club size case of Beano, and I was like, and before she had a chance to really say anything, I was just like, this isn't a fart experiment. Which, if you don't realize, sounds like I'm conducting a fart experiment. Sounds like exactly what I'm about to do. Go home and see. How many farts in an hour? The ultimate test. Anyway, then I quit my job, so that was fun. I'm excited about your other comics tonight, but I'm gonna tell you one last thing. This joke is called, "Is that what squirting is?" General thought. A few years ago, during Mardi Gras, I had some drinks and let a 400-pound Persian man touch my boobs. Around this time, it just so happened that I had a rather large cyst under one of those boobs. And these two things kind of came together in this really wonderful moment in which he went for a boob grab and the cyst exploded in his hand. To which I responded, I have to be alone now. Is that what squirting is? I've always wondered. Alright guys, I'm going to bring up your first comic for the evening. Thank you. This guy is one half of the sketch duo Massive Fraud. He runs shows all over town. Please welcome Joe Cardosi.
Most of my jokes are about suicide and cum, which is also my favorite Morphine song. I didn't know how to start out. I wanted to tell a story, and I think I've told all my gross stories. But then I remember, like, I used to be, I don't know if, and this isn't even a joke, it's just, I just want to see if I was alone in this. When I was a kid, I used to lay face down on the floor with my ass up, just watching cartoons. And when I would fart, because my ass was agape, it would just go back into my body. And I just filled my own adolescent asshole with my own farts over and over again. Am I the only one? So, I'll tell you about my first job, first of all. My first job, when I was 15 years old, I was a grave digger in South Lafourche, Louisiana, where everything's above ground, not below ground. People, much like here, people are buried above ground. And I remember one hot summer day, I'm going to move this guy from like a third-tier plot to a brand new family plot, and I go to pull his casket out, and it falls, and it shatters, and now his shitty body is just out in the sun. And I didn't have a cell phone at 15, I'm pretty old. So I couldn't like call someone, so I had to like, all right, let's pick him up, everyone can see him, let's pick him up and put him in the fucking hole where he belongs, and we'll call someone who can help us. And I go to pick him up, and my thumb sank into his shoulders, and then I threw up into his dick. I threw up through his dick. Actually, I don't want to lie to you people. The migrant worker who was helping me that day did not speak the same language, but he spoke the language that matters, the one of the heart, you know what I mean? And he saw what I was trying to communicate, and we locked eyes and gave me a knowing nod, and then he threw up on the guy's feet. Then we showed him in a hole like that, I guess forever, I don't know, never went back. Fuck that job. That was my introduction to the economy. Which made me, like, recently, I was thinking of this, that CIA report came out with, like, all this terrible shit that they were doing to prisoners, and one of the things was, like, they were force-feeding, like, food into their rectums and stuff, and I was like, it's only a matter of time before one of those doctors gets outed by name, and then Fox News makes that guy the next Joe the Plumber, like, just a job no one else wanted to do, you know, and then they're asking about Syria and shit. Like, you know, in Obama's America, every now and then, you have to pump a tepid protein porridge into a screaming man's asshole. What do you think about the French situation? I've been trying to lose weight. I've been like trying to eat better. Recently, I was in a McDonald's and a guy ordered extra mayo. Which to me is even grosser than if Artie Lang were to sprout a vagina and sit on my face. This is how I feel about it. So like, the thing is, I still look at food about like the same way I used to. Like, it's a treat for me. So I think of it like, oh, you know what? It's a treat for myself. I pay rent. I'm gonna go get Taco Bell. That'll show them. So the other night I did that, and I'm like, you know what? Treat night, gonna do a whole thing for myself, get a Krispy Kreme donut, eat a jelly donut, hot and fresh. Donut place was closing. I had just eaten Taco Bell. Now I'm sitting in my car with like a now cold jelly donut, sitting in my gut, looking at an abandoned Hertz rent-a-car, feeling myself getting diarrhea. And just thinking, I don't believe in love anymore. I don't think that's my treat to me. Just looking in my backseat like, can I shit in an Aquafina bottle? I should drink more Powerade. I need something with a bigger lip. What other terrible, gross things? Welcome to my nightmare. Sometimes I wish I had a tapeworm, because I hate eating alone. Recently I was watching porn, as you do, and the girl kept talking about her pussy juice, like pussy juice, like, oh, you pussy juice, oh, pussy. I'm like, that's the least sexy thing. Think about your fucking language. I don't know what you think of when you hear pussy juice, but I imagine like a carton, and it's way at the top of the fridge, like pushed back where you just don't want to throw out the shit yet. You wait till the garbage is like almost to the top, so it's not sitting there for too long. You pull it out. You gotta like use your thumbs to get it, because the way they tell you to pop it, it never works. You pull out your thumb and you open the pussy juice. You pour it out. There's like little bits of pussy pulp in it. You know. A horrible breakfast. I remember in my dumb hometown, they used to call people turd burglars all the time. Turd burglar, which still makes me laugh. Because I didn't think of like the slander I was supposed to connote. I thought of like a dude literally like in a burglar mask, sneaking in through the bar's window and reaching wrist deep into someone's asshole and burgling those turds and then selling them across from his house for a profit. That's hilarious. I resent the kids who have the internet now because I remember having to like steal a fucking mammogram pamphlet at the doctor's office. I saw a porn where the girl had like a visible suicide attempt scar like on her arm, and it made me stop and think like, oh Jesus, there's a real human cost to all this. You know? And I was like, I don't know what's sadder, the fact that I pretty much know why she tried to do it. Or the fact that I finished. I don't know. I'm a scamp. I didn't have a good family. Fuck it. I was at a restaurant recently, and they had this family. They were just having a good time with each other, and I just fucking hate that because I didn't have it. And anytime I see like a family just like going, and then she didn't even have the crackers, oh my god. I just want to like insert myself in that situation, just like stick my head and be like, oh, did she not even have the crackers? Oh, oh, and start puking and like fanning it with my own hands. Just and then just never go to that fucking Applebee's again. I have this fear of getting stabbed to death on the toilet, which is a very real thing because I don't know which instinct would take over. I don't know if it would be the survival instinct or the vanity thing. I don't know which one because let's say you're in mid-push. It's not even like done pooping, you're in mid-push, it's halfway out and then someone walks in like, hey, you motherfucker, what do you do? Like, do you go, and stand up and let shit fall where it may and maybe survive? Or do you go, and then stand up, and maybe the extra second is the difference between life and death. I think I would rather die clean. Like, I don't want to be the guy covered in shit but lives, you know. At least, like, stand up and, like, fight them off and keep checking the paper. You know, like, and keep checking the paper. Because I feel like if I would live, and the paramedics would come and they'd be like, look at this fucking coward, covered in his own shit, trembling. Fuck you, sir. Wish you were dead. Wish you were dead and in hell. Let's get out of here. So I have a buddy whose ass is just very war-torn. It used to fall out every now and then. Like, he would just fall out of his body and they'd have to cram it back in. I just imagine him, like, cleaning it like an old rug. You just have to beat it off. And this guy, he didn't get a lot of sexual attention because word got out. When he got to college, it was a different world, you know, so he started to get sexual attention, didn't know much about sex. And this girl that he was with one time, she wanted to try anal beads. And he didn't know how that worked. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to put them in, just pull them out. You know, he's like, yeah, you like me, that's fine, you know. And he didn't know that you're supposed to gingerly pull them out. He did it like he was starting an old lawnmower. Just shit and screams, you know. And that's why we call him the lawnmower man. Both because of the reference and because he is a dangerous simpleton. Give it up for Addy.
Thank you. I really appreciate all your groans. Music to the shows. Your next comic, he is on the list of Paper Magazine's best comics to know and look out for. So you're about to meet him right now. Cross that one off your bucket list. Please welcome Chris Drew.
Hi everybody. I've got I've got stuff about, we're going to talk about poo-poo, farting, and buttholes, all unrelated. Kind of, but you guys know it. You guys know what I mean. So first of all, let's start off with farting. I think so. I used to call farting when I farted. I used to be like, "Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I just got a hold of some bad air." That used to be the way I described farting. But now I describe farting by saying, "I'm sorry. My butthole just has a really bad habit of chewing with its mouth open." That's a lot cuter. It's a lot cuter. One time, me and my friend decided we wanted to break the record for most times we farted in one day, which we had never kept track of it ever, but we decided, let's see how many we can, let's set the record. So we went and got these real garbage dumpster beans and chili cans, and we just ate a whole bunch of them. We were home alone in a house that had like 6 dudes living in it, and we ate the mess out of it. And then we just started tooting, farting, just blowing ass all day long. And we were loving it. We were keeping track of all the farts. And then the first person came home from work and they walked in, they went, "Oh!" They were so upset. They were so upset. And then he left. And then the next person came home and said, like, and wanted to know what happened. And then we pointed to the whitewash board that had all the chores on it, and where we had hash marks for how many times we had farted, and it was in the 90s. And we weren't, and if a fart was like, that was one. That wasn't 3 farts. That was 1. We weren't cheating. A third guy came home, went straight to his room, slammed the door, left, and then later on revealed that he got sick that night. And he blamed it on us. He said, "I'm pretty sure you guys made me sick." Which, I think it's one of the funniest things when people get mad at farts, because unless you're farting directly on somebody's food and like poisoning the food, I think it's not that big of a deal. It's usually a nice, silly, fun noise. It's not really that big of a deal. I love when people get super mad at farts. My pawpaw, he, me, mom, dad, and my sister all crammed into a car to go to Washington, D.C. when I was in high school. It was one of my favorite stories. We all crammed into a car. Now, to be fair, everyone's legs were touching, by the way, in the back seat, because Pawpaw was a big dude. Pawpaw also wasn't supposed to be on the trip. Pawpaw decided last minute he wanted to go. He wanted to look at the war memorial. He knew some of those mugs. He said, "I want to go look at their names. Let's do this." And my mom was like, "Can't tell Dad not to do this." So Pawpaw came with us. I had bad case of the farts on this trip as well. So as we're like cruising up to D.C. from New Orleans as a youngster, I had my first couple of farts, but like by the time we were in the middle of Mississippi, and Pawpaw was just like, "Ha ha! Man, you sure do have gas today." And he was like, kind of was like, "This happens." And then we're like in the middle of Tennessee, and I'm still farting. And he's like, "Woo! When are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop?" And then we're getting to like the Virginia area, and I had a real bad one, a real milk stained fart, you know. And he goes, "I swear, you fart one more time, Chris." And he started to get kind of mad, and I'm the kind of farter who keeps one in the chamber at all times, just in case of like the reaction to the fart, and then when it dies down, you hit him again with the last one. And I had one stuck up in there, and he threatened me. He threatened me by basically saying, like, "If you do this again, I'm gonna be super mad." And it made me laugh too hard. And so I let the last one out, and it was, "God damn it, Christopher!" Super mad. And yeah, that's my fart story with Pawpaw. Now we're gonna go from farts to poo poo to butthole. So the poo poo story is this: when I was in college, me and my friend, same friend, we ran a comedy website that had a decent following. And some people every now and then would write us and make requests. Y'all should write an article about this or whatever. One guy particularly liked everything that we wrote that had something to do with the bathroom. He loved the poo-poo potty humor. And he said, hey, I would love it. If I pay you, will you make a video for me that's about poo-poo, like a poo-poo video? And we were like, yeah, what are you going to do with the video? He's like, oh, there's a big party with me and my friends, we're fans of the site, and we're going to play the video. And so I'll pay you to make a poo-poo video. And my friend was like, I don't think it's a good idea. And I was like, this is $75. We're going to do this thing. He didn't really get super involved with the whole thing because I think he smartly kind of backed away from it. But I decided to wing it, to run and gun it myself. So we made this video. It's a really bad idea. One of the things that we did was we went in a car wash and I got on top of the hood of the car and bent over and actually took a shit on the windshield. And then we turned the wipers on and wiped the poo-poo back and forth. And we were like, this is hilarious. This is gonna be great. We did other things that were like that. One of the worst thing that we did was just we had a sketch where I was like, what's in the paper today? What's up with the news? And I'm going through the newspaper, and and I took some actual shit. And smeared it on the paper. And when I opened it, the paper stuck, and then you saw the poo-poo. It was not good. Anyway, this guy writes this, and he goes, this is not what I was asking for. Turns out he just wanted us to make videos about having to use the bathroom. That's what he says. I wanted there to be videos about having to use the bathroom and not being sure if you could make it or not. And we got an actual poo-poo. The last quick story is about buttholes. The first person to ever put their finger in my butthole. It's kind of a romantic story. I met this girl, it was before Hurricane Katrina. I met a girl at a bar called The Saint. I met her there, and didn't happen at the Saint, but it could have. And we had a connection. We were like, oh man, like we like each other. We exchanged phone numbers. Hurricane happened very shortly after that. I end up in Austin, Texas, and her and I are texting back and forth. And then it turns out that she's in Austin as well. And so she's like, let's hang out tonight. I was like, awesome, let's do this. And so it turns out that we were staying in the same apartment building, but on opposite sides. So we were like, let's get on top of the washer-dryer room and just like drink and have fun. And so we're on top of the washer and dryer room, drinking, having fun, just talking about all the crazy stuff that was going on. We started like hooking up and stuff, and then she said now it's like a sex thing. So she put her hand like underneath where my balls go, and she said, what do you think? And I was like, about what? And then she was like, do you like this stuff? And I was like, man, Hurricane Katrina just happened. Go ahead. And so she put her finger in my butt. That was my first time having a finger in my butt. And I couldn't tell if I legitimately couldn't tell if I liked it or not. I really feel, and anyone who has been in a situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now, even though I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that it was one of those things that was like, you're never sure if you like it unless you go all the way. I was very afraid to go all the way, so it never went all the way. But it was on my mind for a super long time. I went to Phoenix for a comedy festival about 2 years later, and I'm still thinking about something with a butt and the butthole girl from The Saint. And I met a girl, and we were feeling, like an anything goes type of thing. And so I was like, oh man, I'm going to get her to put her finger all the way in my butt and see what's up with this. And she did it, and I still don't know how I feel about it, but the point of all this is that she was working a job as Cinderella in Disneyland, and so Cinderella for real put her finger in my butthole, which is how I want to be introduced next time someone brings me up on stage at a comedy show. Thank you all so much for being here. One more time for Addy Najera.
Noted, that's how you'll be introduced from now on. This next guy coming up here runs 2 shows every week at the House of Blues. Mike on Tuesday and a book show on Thursday. He's awesome. Please welcome Leon Blanda.
I don't know.
I don't like it there.
I can't cope. Ugh. Man, I like a finger. Middle finger to the second knuckle, ladies. Middle finger to the second knuckle, no more, no less. You gotta be touching my penis too. That's just what I like. I don't give a shit what you like. It's not about you. It's about me. First time I had anal sex with a lady, I pulled out some poo. Didn't tell her, because I'm a gentleman. It was hers. I married that bitch! I married that woman. For 6 months we stayed together. I mean, we were together for like 7 years before that. And then we got married, and then she's like, this sucks. And then she left, and then I never saw her again. But I still got that poo. Still got that poo. And that was the least amount of poo that I've ever had on my body. Let's talk about the most. I was a junior or sophomore in high school. Can't remember. I had stomach problems my whole life. Ugh, hurts to go to school. Being called faggot every day. It manifests itself physically, I guess. And then turned into poo. So, my idea of physical education would be to walk around the basketball court rather than participating because I didn't want to change my clothes. Why should I change my clothes? I put so much thought into it. Also, I had that stomach ache. Didn't feel like getting dressed in front of the boys. And one day it got the best of me. And I was like, I got to do this here now. So I run over to the coach, who kept the bathrooms locked. That was a good call. We'd do shitty things to the bathroom if you didn't keep it locked. But on this particular day, really would have helped to have them open. Like, hey, coach! And by the time I got coach out of my mouth, the next words were, I had an accident. I was like, what happened? Are you okay? I'm like, not really. I'm not great. He's like, is everybody else okay? I'm like, I don't give a shit. I gotta go use the facilities. So we opened the, it was where we changed, like, you know, where all the lockers were. There was a bathroom, there was a toilet with no door. No door on the stall. Why would you need one? It's just a bunch of other dudes. There was nobody in there anyway. They were playing basketball and shit. And by the time I got in there, like, you know when you're like, oh my god, and you're like fart, and you're like, oh god, I think I just shit my pants. Well, you ever just do it and then just keep shitting? Just like you can't stop, you're just still shitting while you're walking. You're like, I gotta get in here! And just continue. I kept shitting the whole time. I didn't even stop shitting. Even when I'm like pulling, I gotta get my pants down because there's so much shit, and I'm still shitting. Like I'm not stopping the shit. Like I'm pulling my pants down, and it's just it's coming out already, and then it's just coming out. It's in my Dr. Martens. My 10 Island Dr. Martens. There's poo in them. There's poo in my underwear. There's poo in my shorts. Why did I wear shorts to school? Stupid. It's literally everywhere. And I cannot think of what to do with it. Other than throw it all away. Get it in a big pile. Throw it in the trash can. I'm not a religious man. I don't know if I believe in God. If I do believe in God, I don't know if he even likes me. But this day, A prayer that I didn't even speak aloud came true. I'm gathering a lot of shit, some clothing at this point. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I have to leave this room. The boys are going to come in and want to put on their regular clothes. I got a shirt, a t-shirt on. I got my Dr. Martens, emptied the pool out, washed them out in the showers, worked out fine. I got no pants, got no underwear. Got a smile? And I look up, and hanging over the stall, like there wasn't a stall, it was just a wall that went to the wall. It was another wall, and there's a wall, no door. And hanging over the little wall is a pair of pants. And I didn't see them. I'm in there for an hour, it feels like. It feels like I'm in there for an eternity. And I didn't see these pants, and there's pants hanging, and I just rip the pants off the thing, throw them on, walk out of there like nothing's going on, walk to my car, and drive home, have a great day off of school. I was so worried, I was like, nobody knows anything. All the poo's in the trash can, I got these sweet pants, I'm gonna go home. They smell a little funny. I get home, all my friends come over after school. My brother and everybody, they come over and hang out. Like, hey man, where the fuck did you go? After PE. It's first period. I was like, you guys will never believe this. I shit all over myself. It was on my legs, it was on the wall, it was in my Dr. Martens. Like, luckily, there were these pants hanging over the stall, threw those pants on, came home, nobody knows I shit on myself in high school. My buddy's like, were they blue? I was like, yeah, they were blue. Like, yeah, man. I piss on those pants every day. Everybody does. They've been there for months. Hey, besides you fucking jerks, nobody else knows I shit on myself. Hey, thank you so much. Give it up for that.
Your next comic coming up here, she is a regular on shows all over the city. She's only pooped her pants once. Little known fact. Please welcome Laura Marr.
Thanks, Adeline. My name's Laura. I think that the most disgusting people in the world are those people that stand at the corner of St. Charles in Louisiana on like a beautiful Friday afternoon with those massive blown up photos of aborted fetuses, you know? Have y'all seen what I'm talking about? Everybody's just cringing thinking about it, right? One of my friends said it best once. We were driving by, he just leaned out the car and he goes, "Ooh, man! You're gross!" Like straight into an 8-year-old's face who was holding when I was there. But truly the grossest people in the world are boys that they finish all of their sentences like this. Like they can't even make a definitive statement, but they definitely expect you to give them a blowjob. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Boys are just disgusting. Like, I was riding through the French Quarter and I ran by this boy who was sleeping on the side of a building. And he just screams, "Hey lady, make out with me!" So I slapped him and told him to go back to Illinois because that's what Jezebel.com told me to do in that situation. But like Addy said, I only pooped my pants once. I was 17, I was at a 7-Eleven, it was the middle of the day, and I was completely sober. It was free Slurpee day, so things had already been going too well. And all of a sudden, I tried to fart, and everything else came out. And I didn't have a car, because I couldn't drive then, So I had to wait it out in my friend's car, never told them what happened, you know? I've peed in my pants tons of times. Like, anytime, like, at field hockey practice, at field hockey tryouts, anytime I get too excited when I'm singing karaoke, I will just pee my pants on stage. I won't tell anyone, but I will pee my pants. But I told a friend recently about the poo pants story, and she's like, wow, only once? I would have expected you to poop your pants way more times. So I said, fuck you, and I unfollowed her food blog on Instagram. There you go. But, I mean, I think the funniest thing about white girls is just, like, the tendency that they have to, like, they're so disgusted by, like, you borrowing their chapstick, you know? And, like, they'll only, like, open the door in a back room with, like, a paper towel over their hand, but then they'll make out with a stripper in Vegas 2 weeks before they get married, you know? So, thank you, white women. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, boys, I guess the grossest thing about boys is the boys to men, you know, like male growing up process, you know? Like, I've seen so many young men young boys become adults in the moment when they scream at me out of their car, you know? Like, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, I didn't even know that Newman kid deserved his driver's license until he screamed, "Suck my dick, bitch!" at me out of his mom's Lexus, you know? Does this microphone even work? I can't tell. It kind of feels like a flaccid penis in my hands. But I think, and also it's hard as a woman to appear to be gross, you know? Like, boys, they just have this, like, if they run out of a way to be gross, they can just get up here and, like, they can just be like, oh, oh, and, like, just mime jacking off, you know? And then, like, their head will explode in, like, a coke-filled rage, you know? But, like, girls, we just anatomically don't have the same thing, you know? Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna, like, get up here and be like, like, am I gonna make whacking off a thing? Like, I don't think I'm gonna make whacking off a thing. You know? I don't think that's in the cards for me. But I know it's very shocking, but I am, much to the shock and awe of many men, heterosexual men, and homosexual women. I am a straight female woman. Yeah. Let's get a clap for straight female women. Yeah, that was tepid. We're really a dying breed. But, you know, as a straight woman, I do have a relationship with the penis. You know, I would say that we're more like cordial than we are like friendly, you know? Like, if we saw each other in the street, like, we'd wave, like, we wouldn't shake hands, you know what I mean? But there is a story that comes to mind, a memory from my childhood that really defines my relationship with the penis and with my mother. One time I was on a road trip with my family. We'd been stuck in traffic for about 45 minutes. I was about 14. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my little sister. And my dad looks at us and he's like, "Hey girls, listen up. I really gotta pee." My sister was like, "What do you mean you have to pee?" And my dad turns around, and my sister had this Harry Potter cup that was like filled up with like crystal light or something, I don't know. And he takes it, he pours it all out, and he just starts peeing in it. He's like, "I'm really sorry." And my sister's just like gone into a full-blown rage at this point. My mom looks back at us like she has these words of solace, you know? She's like, "Listen up, girls. I have to tell you something. No matter how long you live with them, penises are weird. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen them, they will always be weird." And like, once I got over the fact that my mom was saying this to her teenage daughters, that was a seminal moment for me, you know? Like, yeah, I might be a straight woman, but penises are not my favorite things, you know? And that's why anytime I see a woman in a sex scene, be it pornographic or non-pornographic, and she's like, "Oh my God, I love your cock." I'm like, "Bitch, you are lying funny. Because no girl loves penis. Just like no man loves vagina, you know? Like there are boobs men, there are ass men, there are no vagina men. That rule goes both ways, just like I do. According to my mom. Thank you, everybody. I'm Laura.
Always expect us to hug because we're women. This is a thought that I was having one time. What if like boobs were like dicks and that they got real hard? And he just had like 2 erect boobs that were hard as rocks. That would be dope. Oh man, I'm gonna be thinking about that for hours. Get out of here. Fuck this show. Hard boobs. Alright. Cool. Next comic comes to the stage. He is the other half of Massive Fraud, and he runs several shows all over the city. Please welcome Andrew Polk.
If you're not eating ass on the reg, you can get the fuck out of my face. Eating ass is tight as hell, you guys. You think it's unclean? You think it's gross? That means you don't respect women. I know that women are smart enough to wipe their own ass. Okay, you guys, I am a feminist. And I know that you can't get a nut unless you eat that butt. That is correct, everybody. Get it on t-shirts in the lobby. Eating pussy, that's old as hell. Who eats pussy? Grandpa? Grandpa eating pussy? What's pussy? That's a roast beef sandwich with a runny nose, y'all. I don't want to eat that. Ass, he's the new kid in town. Yeah. He's the kid that transferred to your school, and you're not supposed to talk to him, but we know he's pretty cool. He's hiding something. Eating ass, it's tight, y'all. It's like, it's new. It's a new one. They didn't have that when I was a kid. Well, no one ate my ass when I was a kid. I'm telling you. No one did that to me. Eating ass, it's like that new social media site, Hello. Like, it's cool and streamlined. There's only one thing you gotta worry about. There are a bunch of flaps and valves all over the place. Dumb old pussy. You gotta have an invite to do it in the case where they're first. Just like Hello. Pussy can suck a dick. Pussy can suck a dick. Also on the flyers out. What else do we have here? Cthulhu, ancient sea monster of folklore, or the sound I make when I sneeze while I'm eating pussy. You decide. You decide. I love to drink a whole bunch. You guys know. I probably yelled at most of you. I got really wasted one time and thought it would be super hilarious if I farted in a guy's mailbox. And then, like, I misjudged the elasticity of my own asshole. And I wound up shitting in the guy's mailbox. Really, the only thing you can do at that point is just raise the flag on it and go home. That's what I did. Welcome. Everybody's got diarrhea these days, though, right? How do I have so much liquid shit when I never drink water? The body is truly God's greatest miracle. Like, my ass taking a it's like a broken icy machine. Like, remember the lights blinking and it's just syrup? Now, you might be wondering Coke or cherry. Let's just go with both. Once I ate a cherry snow cone and took a red shit and thought I had colon cancer. I called into work that day and everything. I called into work with colon cancer. It would would suck if you were filming like a real filthy sex tape, like you're just like felching diarrhea into your wife's face, and then somebody gets murdered in the background, and you have to submit that tape to a court. Like if you're like the blinds are open and somebody gets killed on the street, and you're just like shitting into your wife's open mouth. You're like, well, Billy, he got murdered, and we have the only evidence. It's like, well, you were putting a watermelon into my very own asshole. I don't know. I'm always real confused when I have a terrifying nightmare and I wake up with a rock hard erection. It's like, is that something I was into? Honey, get the wolf mask. Act like my teeth are falling out. I had a real bad hemorrhoid, and now it just looks like somebody taped a deflated whoopee cushion to my asshole. That was better than you guys gave. What's I've covered? Piss? We done piss yet? Piss? That's cool. I don't know. Tell you what, when I was a kid, my sister, she had night terrors, and she would just burst out of the room like it was me, bathroom, my sister, 3 rooms, and she would burst out of her room with night terrors and just go shrieking into the night and like tackle stuff. And I was a scared little boy, so I came up with a solution: piss in a cup in your room, and then dump that piss cup into the toilet during the safety of morn, with the light at your side. There was one night, though, where I had pissed in the piss cup. It was, remember Burger King had those Disney collector cups? It was the Peter Pan one, because I thought Peter Pan was a gay. And I was a homophobic child, as we all were. You're not better than me. I pissed in the Peter Pan cup, and then I had to take a shit. I get shit in the Peter Pan cup. So I ventured out in that hallway. Boom! Door kicks down, night terror sister coming straight at me. If you want to stop somebody from having a night terror, you just throw a cup of warm piss. Night terrors are not real, you guys. They are stopped by hot piss immediately. She immediately knew where she was. Attention. I don't know. I liked pissing and stuff when I was a kid. My parents had one of those Mark III vans. Had like the TV and the VCR and shit, and it was like a big van and curtains and all that. We were like going to Walmart or something one day, and I just pissed in an RC can, unbeknownst to my parents. I was, I'm like Joe, I'm a scamp. I just pissed right in that RC can, and then we went into the Walmart for a while. I forgot about my goofabouts, and then we got back in the van, and I was just a little thirsty, and I saw that RC can. You can't see through aluminum, you guys. So I just took a big old swig of that piss RC. God bless piss drinkers. Boy, those guys, they got ironclad stomachs. That's hard to do. I projectile vomited all over the place. My parents, they were arguing about not being in love, so they didn't hear me. And I puked on the curtains, which are like the accordion style ones. So when you puke piss, it's vomit piss. It smells like a gulag in a zoo. A gulag was a Polish internment camp. So I just fucking accordion that puke piss right up in there. And I never went back to my family, you guys. I've been riding the rails ever since. Hey, Andrew Polk, give it up for Andrew.
I think we can all agree the grossest thing about Andrew Polk's set was Yay for him. We've reached the end of your comics tonight. This last guy, he co-hosts a Tuesday night show at Howling Wolf's Den. He's also a fantastic improviser. I love him. Please welcome Fire Scooper.
Hello, guys. Cool. Hello. You guys, this is supposed to be gross, right? Cool, let's start off gross. Once, I thought about this would be cool if a guy ate so many Kraft singles that he jerked off and came a single cheese curd. It's a good commercial. A great commercial. Let's keep it going. When I was 15 years old, I had sex with a 16-year-old girl, and I can still remember that. Is that illegal? Because I feel like it should be illegal. I shouldn't be allowed to remember that. I was talking with this guy the other day, real nerdy fraud. We were talking about different superheroes having sex, which is natural. But we were talking about the Hulk specifically. And the question that had arisen was, what happens if Bruce Banner is fucking something or someone, and then Hulk's out in the middle of that? What happens to the person Bruce, now Hulk, had been fucking? Let's say Bruce Banner takes somebody into a beautiful field, a meadow, and it's just you and Bruce laying around, and he said, hey, let's get passionate, Bruce, let's get down. And you guys start making love, and then a bee stings fucking Bruce, and he's just oh, he hulks out. What happens? And who can take the dick when it grows up? Let's be real, because the dick is there, inside the person, inside the hips. And this dick is going to explode. Let's be real. This dick is going to get huge, immensely huge. Just in an instant. So immediately the pelvis is shattered. Right? Just everything is blown out right there. And then all your fucking organs, right, are pushed off the side. So we're trying to figure out, hey, who can take the dick? The answer is very clear. Japanese competitive eater Kobayashi. He's the only one. His organs get pushed around. No problem. You see him take down 60 hot dogs. That's about a Hulk dick. Let's be real. 60 hot dogs? Yeah, that's Hulk's dick. What, 14 pigs? Yeah, that's Hulk's dick. That makes sense. Guys, I acted in a porno parody movie. It's true. It's called Hot Tub Cock Machine. There is a colon, though, between the words tub and cock, because that's my porn name, Hot Tub. Porno parodies, man, they're cool, super cool. But I think they give you unrealistic expectations, right? How porno, right? You watch porn, hey, it distorts your image of what sex is going to be like in the real world, I think that's true for porno parodies too, because blowing Kramer's never going to be that good. You know what I mean? In the movies, it's great. Kramer's doing all the shit you expect Kramer to do, right? His fucking hands going crazy or whatever. He's he's saying giddy up or whatever fucking doing a full Kramer while you're giving him a blowjob. That's the ideal. But in reality, you're blowing some dude without a job, right? The fucking hairy, it's fucking racist. We learned that. It's never as good as the porno parodies. Make it look. Fucking blowing Yogi Bear sounds awesome, right? You see Yogi Bear, man, He's like, you don't want to give it the picnic basket. And you give him a blowjob, he gives you like 4 sandwiches. That you stole from like a pissed off ranger. That is awesome, but in real life, you're just blowing a bear. Not good. Illegal pretty much everywhere but Putin's Russia. But we're all I don't know about y'all. Blowing Shaggy probably lives up to it. Like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. You know, like Andrew was saying, woman likes mystery. And you know, there's no, you know, but she also likes stability because she's human. You know. So you blow Shaggy, you hang out with his dog, and then you get to get the mysteries on the side. It's nice. You guys, I guess I still have more time. When I was growing up, when I was in high school, me and my friends, we invented a character. His name was Dolph Simpson. And he was a very, very gross boss. And so all he would do is say gross stuff to his secretary, Jeannie. That's the whole thing. So I figured I'd just do that for a little while. So Dolph sounds, he's like, you know, let's say Dolph goes over to his intercom. He's like, beep. Oh, Jeannie. Jeannie. I'm gonna need the Johnson report. I'm gonna need you to come and report on the Johnson. Jeannie, I saw that pencil skirt you were wearing today. And I gotta say, I got the pink gum eraser for the pencil. Yes, Dolph talks about his dick. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of times bosses want to fuck their secretaries, you know. Let's say something else gross. Do you guys want to hear these jokes I tried to tell once that are kind of about pedophilia?
Yeah!
Cool, gotcha. Alright, it goes like this. So, I took my nephew to Chuck E. Cheese's the other day. It's a fun time. But I realized just how hard it is to swim in those ball pits with an erection. You know, it was a celebration of sorts at Chuck E. Cheese's because, you know, my nephew was very sick. I took him to St. Jude's Hospital the other day for him to get a treatment for his non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I realized while I was there just how hard it is to push a wheelchair with an erection. But then things took a turn for the worse. My nephew, he succumbed to the lymphoma. Took over his tiny little baby marrows. Rotted his bones from the inside out. And I realized at my nephew's funeral just how hard it is to carry a child's coffin while simultaneously maintaining an erection. So I took my niece to Disney World. And you know, as we were walking through Tomorrowland, I realized just how much I missed my nephew.
He's still so charming. I don't know what it is. All the erection talk, probably. Thank you guys so much for coming out. That's our show. This is monthly or so. Let's give it up one more time for your comment. My phone.
Sure.
I want to thank High Life for giving us all this beer. Would you guys mind being in a photo with your beers?
Absolutely.
So if you have an empty bottle or can or whatever, you guys want to just like hold it up for me and see if I can get underneath the light. Oh, it's so bright. So very bright.
What about the house?
Hey Dustin, could you pull up the house lights for a second? I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I think this is gonna be super fun. Cool. And then kill those big ones that are kill the big ones. Oh, perfect. Okay, you guys are great. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
I'm sorry for the men in the front who don't have beers and are like, I want to join. All right, thank you so much, everybody. My name's Addy. This is a new movement. Check out our website, tnmcomedy.com, and have a good night.